Joining me today is someone who's been quietly but steadily building an impressive creative path in acting and writing. What I love about his work is the mix of authenticity and imagination he brings to it. He's an artist who wears many creative hats, but I'm here to unpack some of the mystery under his acting hat. Jordan Robert Pearce, welcome to VertiChat with Mads.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Let's get right into it
Let's
because
do
I
it.
know that you're eager to spill some.
Some industry secrets.
Yes, but no. The generic first question is, can we start off with you telling me a little bit about yourself?
Wow, okay. Yeah, sure. I'm a writer and actor based in Sydney, Australia. I've been working as an actor for the last almost 15 years now. And yeah, it's been a crazy ride. I only got into verticals maybe a year ago now-ish. So yeah, pretty fresh to the vertical scene. But I've been acting for a while now.
Have you always wanted to be an actor?
It was always kind of a thing that just had a pull on me. Like when I was growing up, I grew up in a pretty, I don't know, we didn't have a lot of money. So when it came to entertainment, we had like maybe three movies that we'd watch on rotation. One was The Lion King, the other one was The Sound of Music, and the other one that we would watch was God, what was it? I think it was Tarzan, like an old version of Tarzan. Like
Like cartoon or
no live act, like live action black and white kind of Tarzan.
holy?
So we would watch those on rotation, and I would pick up, you know, it got to the point where I would be like after school care and stuff like that, and me and my friends would just put on The Lion King. And I distinctly remember going through a scene and stopping everybody and going, no, 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 that's wrong. That's wrong. You said the line wrong. You got to do it like this. So I was always kind of destined to be an actor, I think. Um, and so when I got to like high school, I started to show an interest in making film. And I got, a camera and I started doing little things for school. And my English teacher, Mr. Norton, shout out Mr. Norton because I'll never forget this. But he took me aside and said, after he watched me in one of these like little short films that I made, he was like, "You kind of, I think you should be an actor because you show like a really keen interest in it and you're actually good at it. So maybe see about following that path." And so ever since then, I've been like, okay, yeah, sure. And I went to audition at NIDA. Didn't get in at NIDA. That was rough. I almost got in, but didn't quite get in. And then I auditioned and got in at Screenwise Australia, and I studied there for a couple of years. Got out and started auditioning for TV shows and films straight away.
Did you land any like straight away, or was it like a bit of a process?
Oh, it's always a process. I got some pretty high profile auditions straight off the bat, which is really cool. I got some guest work and some extras work, and that kind of whets your appetite for it. But nothing really kind of happened, and so I drifted from that to theater, and I did theater for a bit and loved that. I think everybody should try theater at least once. It's just such an experience. Um, but then I came out and just, again, just drifting between jobs, life, acting and stuff like that. And then I found my way onto a random vertical set late last year, in China, in Shanghai in China.
But were you just in China or like
No, no. I've always wanted to go. But no, it was a weird thing. So back in 2023, I did this short film with a friend of mine. Um, and we did, it was like this little motivational thing for aimed at women, basically saying, like this main character, she was very depressed and very sad, and she didn't have a good opinion of herself. And then I rock up into the scene, And I'm like it's kind of like a vertical. Like I'm the handsome guy that comes in and sweeps her off her feet and tells her that she's valuable and amazing and beautiful and she's worth something to a man like me. And that didn't really do numbers over here in Australia, but over in China, apparently they friggin' loved it. And so they like through this weird kind of you know like a communication line between like 15 different people. One person in China asked another person in China about me. That person asked another person in China about me. That person asked somebody in Australia that they knew about me. That person reached out to the director who was my friend, and then she reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to be in a vertical?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see what that's about." And then they were like, "Oh, by the way, it's shooting in China." And I was like, okay, I'll do it. That sounds like fun." So yeah, that's pretty much how it happened.
That's a wild ass story, that one.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of people involved. It was, yeah, wild.
Like I know some like verticals like people have done haven't released and they've done it like over like what 12, 18 months. Like
Mm.
has this one actually come out?
I think it came out pretty quickly afterwards.
Hallelujah.
God, that was back in like 2024, so that would have been I think it came out in like October 2024. And that was a crazy one. So I didn't get the script until I'd actually landed, and that was 2 days before we started shooting. And the script was, I mean, a lot of, I think vertical fans and vertical actors will know what a bad script looks like when it comes to verticals. This one was so much worse. This one, from what I understand, was not really written as it was kind of produced by an AI program. So it was just a lot of random words and scenes that didn't make sense. And there were some characters, like I'm pretty sure my character's name changed several times during the script, and that was like the shooting script. So that was the one that they gave us. And on the
Did somebody like not proofread it or something? Or
does proofreading exist for verticals? I don't know. Um, do we have a script supervisor? Nah, I don't think so. I think that's probably
there's
the
not enough money in the budget.
exactly. There's no way that we can hire a script supervisor for any of these things. Um, so at the table read, it was impressed upon me that they were happy if we changed stuff, if we just like made stuff up on the spot, if we did whatever we want, as long as the director knew beforehand, they were happy to just kind of let us roll with it. And I turned to Erin Thomas, who was my co-star at the time, and some of your listeners will know who she is. She's an amazing actor who's been in tons of these things for years. I think she was first in one back in 2022 or 2023. So she's been around for a while. But she and I were on this one together for the first time in China, and I turned to her and I said, "Should we like maybe rewrite this? Because it's kind of yeah, it's not good." And she was like, "Yeah, I think that's a good thing." And so myself, Aaron, and another guy, we kind of just designated some time to rewrite the entire 122-page script for this thing, because it was exhausting, and I think I slept maybe 4 hours during the those first 3 days there, because the first 2 days I was just rewriting the whole thing. Um, but we got through it. We did it. We survived, and we made something that nobody remembers, which is great. We did it.
All that effort, not enough
It was
recognition.
all worth it for the experience.
Did you like obviously some of them have like a given title before and then obviously like in
Oh, really?
post-production gets
God, I'd
reworded.
love to work on one of those. No, I
I
don't think.
wouldn't actually I would because I would love to rename some of these verticals because they are horrendous. Like
I don't think I've ever worked on a vertical that the name has actually stuck throughout the start of production and then through to the end. I've never like God, it would be so because I feel like especially when it comes to the naming of verticals, when a production actually lands on a name at the very beginning, I feel like they've actually got confidence in where it's going and they understand that it's like it's okay, like it's a pretty good product. Whereas I feel like a lot of verticals tend to be an assembly line production where, like, let's not kid ourselves, every character is a friggin' CEO billionaire guy, and every woman is like a damsel in distress that was adopted, and now she's in prison, but now she's out of prison, and oh, she's in the rain crying, and she needs an umbrella, and all of that kind of stuff. Like it's always the same thing, and I'm starting to see now, which is really nice. I'm starting to see now that a lot of vertical productions outside of China, at least, are now kind of pushing the boundaries. Like there was a medieval one, like a dragon slaying one that I saw come out like a couple of months ago, which looks fucking amazing. There's a pirate one that was like crowdfunded and
Yes, for
looks,
Nick Westaway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks so good. I'm so jealous of them because oh my god, I'd love to be in something like that. But I feel like yeah, I feel like when it comes to the naming of stuff, it's a really good indicator if they've landed on a solid name before and they just keep it throughout. But yeah, names are always friggin' weird. Like I do feel like they're just kind of thrown through a translator sometimes, and it just comes out the other end, and it's just all random, words put together. Like billionaire, CEO.
Virgin,
It's always my billionaire something something. It's never,
virgin, surrogate.
yep, my
Like,
alpha, my vampire overlord. Uh, it's always something weird and different, and
so
it
messed up.
never makes sense. I mean, have you? Because I'm not really. I just do this shit and then leave, so I'm not really in the I guess the atmosphere of verticals. But is there like one title that you have seen where you're like, that's amazing, that's really really good?
Mainly just the titles on can no, never mind. I was gonna say Candy Jar. Their stories, their verticals, like Candy Jar, the app is just amazing.
Oh yeah,
Like they produce quality verticals.
shout out Candy Jar.
Shout out Candy Jar.
Can we
Like,
get? Can you get a like a? Can you get like a payout from them for shouting them out?
I don't know. I wish.
Maybe you should get product
I
placement.
wish.
Just get like a little ad for Candy Jar at the beginning of every podcast episode.
I should. But no, like some of the titles are pretty like questionable.
Oh, they all are. I swear to God. Like, yeah, terrifyingly questionable. I feel like sometimes, and it's almost always aimed at the women.
But no, compared to most of
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, most of them are crazy long, don't make a lot of sense, and always have something either provocative or disturbing in the title.
yeah. Well, like the ones on here is like not all about you, My Sexy Devil, Secrets of Vixen, Chasing Kiara, Charlotte and and the Seven Frat Brothers, Mason.
Jesus Christ. That the seven frat bro. Oh my, I'm picturing like a Snow White ripoff, and it's borderline pornographic. It's
No, it's it's a college girl who like she didn't know that she was going like and she didn't know that she was going to end up in like a frat house. And then they're like, and she's like, I have nowhere else to go. And then the boys like adopted her and was like, you can
oh,
be our
that's so
kitchen
much
bitch.
nicer. That's really nice.
But then like the leader um made everybody else in the house make a pact, be like, she's off limits to everybody. And then he falls for her, and then everybody else gets shitty.
Well, he
Like
did make the rule. He
he,
did
yeah,
say nobody touches her, and then he was like, except
except
for me.
me.
Yeah, yeah, classic. Oh God. All right,
Yeah,
that's interesting. Well, good shout. Good shout. Candy Jar. Remember
yeah,
that one.
yes,
Should probably
yes,
follow them.
100%.
See if I can work with them.
Oh, please do. They make some like they make quality verticals. But
I've been advised by my agent to say that not all verticals are bad, and all of the ones that I've been in are amazing
they're
and good
beautiful.
and well written and deserving of Emmys and Golden Globes maybe one day. Uh, that's my
Oh,
disclaimer. That's that's legally that's saving me from losing my jobs.
I'll
Uh,
just cut this whole bit out so like you don't
no,
have
please
to.
keep at least half of this. This is amazing. This is quality stuff.
The banter is real.
Yep, so good.
You went to Screenwise. Are there any particular lessons or moments from that training that still influenced how you approach your roles today?
Oh, God. I mean, I think the most valuable thing that I ever learned in an acting school was just how to memorize lines. um, no, the one thing, like the biggest thing that I think sticks with me aside from that is there's never one way of doing something. If something doesn't work for you but works for somebody else, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not going to work for you. For me, there's a certain power in uh, kind of realizing that, you know, a lot of it comes from just reading the script, just knowing the script. Once you can read a full script back to back, which is not easy when it comes to verticals because the scripts are often quite a mess at the best of times. But, you know, once you're able to understand the character and understand what your purpose is as the character, what you want, what you need, what's stopping you from getting what you want, what's helping you getting what you want, uh, there's so much room to play and there's so much room to experiment with, you know, your own method, your own way of doing things. So I'm not a particular subscriber to any one way of acting or one school of acting. But there is a lot out there that's really helpful. I've taken a lot from Meisner, which, you know, acting nerds will know. I love Meisner because it's very instinctive. It's very, you know, you build the playground and then you play in it, and it's really cool and it's really fun. And it also helps to kind of distance yourself as a person from the job, the character that you're playing. So yeah, I love doing that, and I love the freedom that that kind of affords you because you can do like 15 takes of a scene, and every single scene will be different. It'll feel different, it'll look different, but it'll still offer something to the director or the editor. And that's really cool. It's like you're capturing lightning in a bottle.
Well, like, how would, if you have to do like how many takes, which one do you feel would be the best one? Like, obviously, the first ones are like warm ups. Like, does that make sense? Like, warm
Well, it
ups at the beginning and like you feel like
depends.
you've overdone it by the end, or like you're somewhere in the
It
middle. Like,
depends, yeah. Because I mean, there's plenty of directors out there who love doing it in one take. Like Eastwood is known for trying to only get one take, and he'll do maybe five maximum because he wants to get in, get it done, and he trusts the actors to know their lines, and he trusts the crew to know, you know, how to shoot this and how to light it, etc. But then you've got other directors who will just, you know, hundreds of takes. Not even joking. Zodiac feature film, which stars a lot of big names. That film is notorious for the amount of takes that the director did. And there was one scene where I think it was Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo and Jake Gyllenhaal were in the scene, and they did that scene like 125 times, right? And the reason the director gave for doing a lot of those scenes like over 100 times was he wanted to exhaust the actors to the point where they weren't thinking about
yeah,
anything. They were just like in the moment, okay, we're past the point of exhaustion, we're past the point of giving a fuck about this. We're just running the scene. We're just
yeah.
doing it again. I'm picking up this pencil. I'm saying my line. I'm throwing the pencil away. And that's how he operated to get the best performance. That's what he thought was the best performance. But then I've had an experience this year where I did a short film, and in the short film, there was this beautiful monologue that went for, I think it was like 3.5 pages. So quite a long. That's about three. That was about 3 minutes of screen time, 3 to 5 minutes of screen time, and it was very emotional. I had to kind of, go everywhere with this. I had to go to, being angry. I had to go to being sad, being, all of these different emotions that were playing throughout the journey of the monologue. And we did it in one take. And then we kind of went, okay, can we do another one? And then I was like, yeah, sure, let's do another one. We did it a second time. And as an actor, I could never tell what is the good take. There's no way. I've been on productions where I thought it was the worst thing ever. I thought that take was terrible, and that's the one that ended up in the final cut. And then there's other ones where I'm like, oh man, that take was amazing. I felt so good doing that. I remember when I hit that beat, I just made those words fucking sing. And then you get to the actual final edit of the thing, and you're like, oh, that wasn't in the movie, or that wasn't in the show, or they didn't even show it. So like, I think actors in general, because we're so much in the space, we kind of can't see the forest through the trees. And so we're terrible judges of what's a good take and what's not. But that's also why I like theater a lot, because you kind of get that instant reaction where you're like, oh, that's what I just did was really cool. They liked that. They laughed, or they cheered, or you could hear them sobbing or crying or whatever. And you get that instant feedback that you don't get in television verticals or film. So yeah, it is entirely up to the director how they manage, how many takes that happen. And I'm like, I'm good for whatever. Like if we do one and the director's happy with one take, great, I'm happy. If we need like 50 takes, I'm going to be a little pissed, but but I'll be okay. If we need 120 takes, that means okay, we're missing something and he is figuring it out. Or she is figuring it out. The director is trying to get the best of what they think they need. And at the end of the day, director's the boss. Like, if they're going to get what they want, then I'm happy to help.
Like, if you feel that you've done the best, can you like express that to them? Or like,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I got a good example of this. In the feature film that we finished beginning of this year, end of last year, there was a scene where I kind of felt we were missing something, and I took the director aside and I said, do we need do we need to stay here when we could be maybe working on this kind of emotional area of the character? Um, and we tried it, and I said, look, I'm really happy with it. And the director was like, I'm still not sure. Can we go back to what we were doing before? And I said, yeah, sure. Yeah, let's go back to what we were doing before. And so we did. We ended up doing the scene that we did up to the point where he wanted. And I took him aside again and I said, "Are you sure that's, because I'm kind of I'm happy with what we did before." And he was like, "Yeah, what we just did has helped me realize what the scene actually is supposed to be doing."
mm,
And coming back to it from doing that little bit extra has helped me kind of focus in on what we want to do. And then he explained to me, this is what I want your character to do. Like, and it was a completely different take to what I had in my head. And so we did that, and he was suddenly happy. He was like, that's the best one. That's the one we wanted. And it was
yeah,
just a miscommunication. And I feel like a lot of issues on set, aside from, big egos, whatever, tend to come from just miscommunication, people just not knowing either what they want or how to ask somebody for what they want. And so if I come in and I go, "Oh yeah, no, I'm happy with this. Like, that's the best take. Why are we going again?" I think that's kind of detrimental to the creative process of filming anything, whether it be verticals, film, or television. Because at the end of the day, we're just the face. Like the actors are just the face or the mouthpiece. You know, we are here to collaborate. We are here to help, build a story with a whole cast and crew and production of people that all are trying to do the same thing. And I think it's important to just remember that more than is my take the best take or whatever. It can derail productions if one person is adamant that oh, but we did good, we need to move on.
It's not your decision.
Nope. I mean, it can be if you're Tom Cruise, because
Don't
that
even get
guy.
me started on that man.
I mean, say what you want, but the guy is focused as hell.
Weird question. Do you
Shoot.
still game?
Yeah. I game occasionally. My computer is kind of bugging out on me at the moment, but yeah, I've got a PlayStation 5. I'm working through an addiction at the moment of playing NBA 2K 2025, which is really bad for my mental health. But god damn it, I love playing basketball. Um, also, I love playing some horror. I'm going through like the Alan Wake series at the moment, which is really fun. Um, and I used to play Pokemon a lot. It kind of lost its luster recently with the recent releases, but I've got like a little emulator on my phone that I play like the old school Pokemon games on.
Does gaming influence how you imagine your stories or like characters in like your acting?
I think gaming is just it's an extension of storytelling. At least for me, like I used to be into a lot of multiplayer games, which was just terrible for my mental health. Uh, um, competitive, shooters, Overwatch, Rust. Rust was the worst. That was the most toxic thing I ever did for myself. But gaming now is very much a part of telling a story. And I love games that do that. I'm a huge fan of the Uncharted series on PlayStation. That's probably my favorite game series of all time. But I also I loved Indiana Jones growing up. I was a huge action adventure fan, so that's kind of in my blood a little bit. And that kind of storytelling is always you know so baked in to the human experience and our DNA is just we want to tell stories. We want to thrill ourselves or an audience of people. Um, so yeah, definitely gaming is such a huge part of the storytelling, environment. And I think to say otherwise is discounting hundreds of thousands, millions of hours of incredible storytelling that, isn't just a part of like the single player games, but it's in multiplayer games as well. There's a great YouTuber called Wellen who tells narrative stories with Rust as a video game, and they're just like hour long to 2 hour long videos telling like almost a complete story about his experience one night playing Rust, and it's like it's full of ups, downs, drama, thrilling moments. It's crazy. It's so cool. So, yeah, gaming is such a huge part. I think, at least in the storytelling process when it comes to that kind of stuff.
So like obviously you said, yeah, it's a big part. What aspect do you like the most about that? Is there like one thing that stands out to you in that storytelling?
Oh, I mean, it really depends on the game as well. Like, it could be for especially like the single player narrative. It's like the performances are amazing. and the writing is really good. Like for the Uncharted series, I love the performance capture that they do because it makes the characters react so realistically to their environment, which is really awesome, and it sells the story a lot more. Um, but then you got other aspects that I really enjoy, like voice acting. Like, when actors change their voice to do something to
Yeah.
create like a different kind of a character, like an alien character, or all that kind of stuff is really fun. It's really cool, and that's like I think doing the voices is like my favorite thing. Like it's so much fun. I love it.
If you could just be a voice actor, would you?
Absolutely. Like if I mean, voice acting itself takes a lot of time and money to invest in before you actually get good enough to get work. But yeah, for sure. I actually did uh, like an audio narrative comedy podcast during the pandemic because we, as a me and a couple of friends, we just didn't have, we weren't able to get out, we weren't able to get on sets, film anything. So we were like, let's just write something and then see what happens. And then we got together and we got in this like shitty little recording booth in the middle of summer, so it was like 45 degrees and sweltering, and we're doing these stupid British accents because we decided to do a fucking Sherlock Holmes knockoff fantasy horror comedy adventure podcast. And yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it though, which is really great. We all like we played like 50 characters each, just put on accents and weird voices and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I love doing voice acting. It's really fun.
I'm gonna find it and link it and like
Please do, please do. I'll send you the link.
do
I
it.
said it, we need ears on that podcast, man. It's dying.
Now that you've told me your favorite, tell me the most challenging,
For about gaming,
like the storytelling.
oh, the storytelling. God, the most challenging, I think. I mean, there are so many different hurdles to overcome when it comes to telling stories in general, let alone like in video games. I mean, a lot of it comes down to how much can we get with the budget that we have. Like money tends to be like one of the biggest kind of hurdles to start with, at least. But then after that, like I feel like communicating is probably one of the more challenging things that a lot of that I see in not just the industry, but just in storytelling in general. There are quite a few people that don't understand how to, I guess, communicate what they want to the people that matter, if that makes sense. I saw a video, a clip of a TED talk of this the cinematographer who did When Harry Met Sally, which is a classic, rom com movie starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. And he was talking about how he was trying to communicate to the cast. He had helped light the scene, um, and he was trying to tell Meg, you know, this is where we want to film. Like I've lit for about 50 meters both ways, but this is where you need to land. And they did a couple of takes, and she wasn't landing on the spot. And so he came up to us and said, "Hey Meg, you can land anywhere between here and here. There's so much room that you can land in. But if you land right here on this mark, you look absolutely gorgeous." And then every take after that, she landed on the mark.
Yeah.
So that way of communicating where you're asking something of somebody, but you're asking it in such a way where they go, "Oh yeah, no, that benefits me. Yeah, totally, I can do that," is such an underrated way of communicating that not a lot of people understand or do now. And I think it's just so important. And that's one of the hardest things, especially when you've been on set for like 12, 14, 18 hours and you're getting
Mm.
frustrated and tired and exhausted and you're sweating and you've been wearing the same goddamn suit for the last like however many hours and you just want to go back and sleep, but you still have to be there. You still have to communicate. You still have to kind of get through the shoot. Um, And so, yeah, communication is so difficult. But when it works, it works.
That like applies to my job because I work with children.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, they don't understand big technical adult words.
Mm.
So you
Yeah,
put gotta put everything in layman's terms and it pisses me off. It makes me sound dumb.
one
Like,
thing that, because I worked as a camp counselor, fuck, like 10 years ago now, and there was this kid that was being bullied, and I was like, I was, I separated them. I was like, I talked to the ones that were doing the bullying. I said, you know why that's wrong. Don't do it again. And I went and found the kid. He was crying in the bathroom, and I took him aside and I said, "Hey, they're just doing it because you're just a little different, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? They're the ones that are wrong." And he didn't understand. He just screamed louder and ran away. And I was like, okay, I can't explain, anything to these kids. It's just too difficult. Sometimes you just gotta let them cry, and that's it. That's all that you can do.
I would have just like explained to the kid that, you know, they make fun of you because they have nothing nice to say.
Mm,
They have nothing to compliment you on. They only have mean things. And I was like, what does that say about you? That, they don't respect you enough to tell you the truth and say good things. So are they supposed to be your friend?
yeah, and there's no
You
way they
only want
understand that.
exactly.
They're just like, so I need to be a better person because I'm a piece of shit.
No, the way I would put it is like if they really wanted to be your friend, they would have said nice things.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would they would have said the nice things, but they're only saying mean things, aren't they? So go and find somebody and play with them who says nice things to you.
yeah.
Like, look this. I was like, after school care coming out in me. Have you directed anything?
Yes. Short films. I've directed a handful of short films.
You also wrote them, didn't you?
I've written and directed a couple of short films, yes.
Okay. As being both writer and an actor and a director, all three, has it changed the way you act or vice versa?
Definitely. Definitely. Being in the director's seat, I filmed a short film uh, last year with a couple of my friends. I'd written the script, and I directed some short films prior to it, but nothing as big as this. We had like a decent sized crew, decent sized cast, and so I was suddenly kind of thinking about all the technical side of things. So for me, finding out a process that works as a director is like you are running two different jobs at the same time between working with a crew and working with cast. Two almost completely different ways of thinking, really, because you are talking to the cast on an emotional level to try and help them get to a point where they understand the assignment and they're happy with what they're doing. And then you've got to talk to the crew and get them to a place where they understand their assignment and are comfortable in doing what they're doing. And because we didn't have a massive crew, it was like five of us, or yeah, five crew on any given day. We shot for like 3, 4 days. Um, so you're wearing a lot of hats and you're trying to get through it, but you're also like putting in the hard yards before you even start. Like you're shot listing and storyboarding and visiting the shoot sites, doing recce's and all that other stuff to kind of understand, okay, we can put the camera here, the cast will be over there, we can light it from this direction. Hey, what do you think about this, etc., etc. um, which I love. And it's one of the things that like I found, going back to that communication again, and why it's so important is, if you can work with people who don't require as much communication to be on the same wavelength, you do that immediately. Like it cuts down on so much talking and so much other issues that will come up during the shoot. And then applying that to to acting, because I've been in positions where I've worked with actors who just don't get it. They just are not. They're not there. Their mind is somewhere else. They have no interest in communication, and so figuring out how to kind of get them to come to the table and to work with you on a scene, I think being a director has helped inform how to do that, how to communicate that in a way that they suddenly go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, cool, I can do that, yeah, awesome. um so yeah, definitely, I think they're all kind of, and you see it a lot, you see a lot of actors who have gone through, working as an actor and then turn to directing, and they turn out to be really, really, really good at it because a lot of it is communication. And if you're good at acting, if you're really good at acting, you're really good at communication more times than not. There's some actors out there that are not very good at communication, but they're still pretty good actors. So it's not always, it's not a blanket rule for everything. But yeah, I feel like acting has definitely helped inform how to direct, but it's also informed how to write as well. Like my method of writing kind of is like doing ad-libbing by myself. So I'll talk as one character in a scene, and I'm like, okay, this is where the scene needs to go. This is where we're starting. What does the character want? This is what they want. Okay, I'm going to play the character, and I'm going to try and get what I want out of the other character. And so I'll be in my room just going, hey, Johnny, what are you doing here? Oh, hey, Keith, I'm just here for a drink. And it'll just go back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth until I'm like, okay, I've actually got a scene here. There's something here. And then the writing process will take over, and I'll refine it down to something that's actually interesting instead of just me talking to myself in a room by myself. But that's really helped a lot, and that comes back to that communication thing again. It's just, yeah, it's all about communication.
Without communication, you have nothing. Just like I'm going to communicate with you right now. I am looking and writing things down.
Nice.
Like
You gotta take notes.
I know, but I feel so bad because I'm like looking like
No, don't feel so. I'm playing with shit on my desk as I'm talking. There's
I've got
nothing wrong with it.
I've got a pen. I usually play with anything that I can find. What made the vertical format stand out to you above, like, you've obviously been on like television, short films, like theater?
The hours on set. The hours on set. I mean, my first vertical project that I ever did was back, in Shanghai in, August of 2024. And we were shooting for 7 days. And one day in particular, we were there for 22 hours on set. And that was a lot. That was a big wow. That was a huge moment of me going, okay, this is I guess this is how they film a whole TV show in a week. This is crazy. So that was definitely something that stood out to me. But it also, I feel like it's very common in verticals for them to try and cram as much as they can into the shortest amount of time. And you got to choose one of two of three things. You got to be choosing either, something that's cheap, something that's quick, and something that's professional. But you can only choose two of the three. You can't have them all. And I feel like it's always quick. It's always quick. They've chosen one option, and it's got to be quick. So that stands out a lot on almost every set that I'm on when it comes to verticals. For television and film, I don't think I ever cracked more than 10 hours on a set for television or film.
That is
So it was
wild.
quite chill in comparison.
Yeah, well, these things get spat out so fast. Like you literally eat your lunch, and by the time, no, I'm not gonna say that.
There is heaps, like they come out so fast and quick. But I also think it's kind of indicative of how much time they actually spend on writing the scripts, that they're all almost the same.
Mhm.
Um, the plot's the same, the characters are very similar, the character. I saw one where so I did one in, I want to say June, July, yeah. And it only just came out the last couple of weeks. But like a month and a half ago, I saw one with the exact same script being advertised with actors that I didn't know. um, Being like, I think they filmed it in the US, but it was the same exact script. I recognized the dialogue, I recognized the characters. The lead was in a wheelchair, just like our lead was in a wheelchair. And I was like, oh my God, they've literally just taken the same script and they've just shot the same thing. It's just, and it's a
And
completely different production company as well. So that was like wild, um, and concerning because I'm thinking, well, how did they get the rights to the script? Don't talk rights or screenwriting rights with vertical production. It's a whole rabbit hole that I do not have the bandwidth to understand.
I was
Um,
gonna say I don't know anything about that. I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy that, they come out so quickly, but a lot of the time I feel like the the screenplays and stuff, they're all the exact same. There's not a lot of difference between them. Until recently, there's been a few that have been coming out that look really cool, really interesting. And they've been focusing a lot more on something like more original content, I guess, which is cool, and I think we should be doing more of. It's just hard to tell producers that because they're all like, but no, this thing sells and only this thing. And then you go, well, but have you tried selling something different? Well, no, we haven't, but that's how we do things. And it's like, okay, all right, we just got to wait for somebody to crack the mold and then things will start changing. And they're pushing, like, I feel like we need more of people like pushing the innovation of doing things differently. We don't need sexual assault in every goddamn vertical. And the fact that so many do, I it's I it just I because I didn't know about any of that before I signed on, and I saw it in that first script that I was in, and that kind of was what motivated me to rewrite the entire thing. Because I was like, I'm playing a lead who not just once, not just twice, but three times sexually assaults the female lead and then gets her in the end? What are we doing, guys? Like, this is insane. And so it's gotta change. And that aside, we need to be more creative with our storytelling.
Mhm.
People are going to get sick and tired of watching the same billionaire CEO played by a different actor romance the same billionaire mistress, ex lover of some rich piece of shit who's trying to kill her again for the thousandth time. We need to see something more original, and I'm so happy that they're starting to do that now. And they're going to be the ones that really take off and leave everyone else in the dust. Um,
I can't wait for it either.
it's going to be
Yeah.
so good. It's going to be so good.
So I'm surfing your IMDb right now, and like there's barely any verticals on there. Like, did they just not add
Oh
you to
no.
the credits, or like, or you just asked for it not to be put on there?
Oh, I don't ask. I don't do anything with social media. I'm going to be honest with you. I do nothing. I have got an IMDb for, film credits and TV credits from ages ago. And I don't understand how actors can be on social media and advertise themselves and all this other stuff. I'm like, that's too exhausting. How do you have time to actually do the work? How do you have time to learn lines if you're doing all this shit? I would much rather hire someone else. You take my social media, you take my IMDb page, you do whatever you want with it. I don't give a shit. I'm happy just in my own little zone, receiving calls from producers, directors saying, "Yeah, cool, I'll be in that, sure, fly me out." Like, I feel like social media can kind of pull you in a bit too much, pull you away from yourself, and I feel like a lot of actors tend to get wrapped up in that instead of the work, which is, that's what we do. We shouldn't be wrapped up in how many posts get by. I know a guy who like he's got like over 700,000 followers, and he posts like 8, 10 times a week, and I'm like, I would simply die. I cannot think of a way to be able to do that per week and retain my sanity. It's just not, it's not in me. I can't do it.
I've never posted this much on Instagram in my life. Like you saw my personal account. I haven't posted probably since like mid-year, and then before that, it was the beginning of the year, and then before that, it was like a year and a half, 2 years. Like,
It's
and then
exhausting. It's such
it
a,
is very exhausting.
it's a job in and of itself. And like, I've been getting work without having to monitor my social media. I don't need to do that. Um, so yeah, I'm content. Just keep doing what I'm doing. I don't want to open that Pandora's box. It just sounds like too much work. The best advice, because this comes up in acting all the time, especially when it comes to like being nervous, being anxious. The best advice that I've ever received about how to deal with nerves in a scene is make it about the other person. So if I'm in a scene, and I've always kind of fantasized about doing a scene with like, I don't know, Angelina Jolie, let's say, and I'm in a scene with Angelina Jolie, and I'm nervous as fuck because it's Angelina Jolie, and I'm like, okay, I know my lines. I've spent months learning my lines. I know my lines. I know the character. I understand what I want, what I need. But it's Angelina fucking Jolie. So how do I get through it? Okay, all right. I am just gonna focus on her. I'm not gonna think about my relationship to her. I'm not gonna think about her being any different to what who she is standing in front of me. And so I'm going to play this scene the way I would with any actor I'd meet at a theater hall. And I'm just going to do it. And I'm not going to focus on myself because as soon as you start focusing on yourself, I don't know if you noticed, but when you were talking about it, you were talking about I'm going to make a fool of myself. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be like that. As soon as you start going, okay, well, what about you? What about the person I want to talk to? What about what makes you interesting? What answer do you have for this question? As soon as you put it on them, it doesn't matter what you do. You can make it, you could make a fool of yourself. But if you're not thinking about yourself, if you're thinking about them and you're thinking about what they have to say and focusing on that, even the most foolish idiot comedian can pull off an amazing interview just by focusing on the person that they're talking to. Um, so yeah, that's my advice.
I will rewatch this video.
Do it. Do it. Save it. Save it to the hard drive.
I will.
Put it on the desktop.
I will. The other advice is turn your nerves into excitement because apparently they're both the same feeling.
They are because the more you do this and the more you go through that nervous state, the more you're going to be able to handle it better. And it's just like, I know it's just bringing up gym bro shit, but it's just like doing reps at the gym. Like the first time you do it, it's always going to be hard. The first time is always going to be difficult. The first time you're always going to be in the most amount of pain. But the more you go back and do it, the more you start to realize, oh, okay, I need to put the weight up because this is easy. Like this is simple. And that's it. It's just repetition. Just doing it again and again and again and again.
But I've done 30 something interviews before you, and yet I still get nervous
Yeah, of course. That's
because, like, I look up to all of you guys. Like,
Yeah. So make it about make it about me. Make it about the person you're interviewing. Like really kind of I think the best way, and it's helped me so much when I'm doing auditions, because I've auditioned for some of the biggest. I've auditioned for Netflix, I've auditioned for Stan Australia, I've auditioned for Paramount, I've auditioned in the room with some of the biggest casting directors in Australia. And I've auditioned across from directors who have worked with Daniel Radcliffe. I've auditioned for so many of these big names, but the thing that gets me through that, and I've been nervous as fuck, but the thing that gets me through it is just going, okay, I just need to focus on them. I can't focus on me. I'm not here for me. I'm here to be the character that they want me to be, and the only way to do that is to focus on them.
And that's where it gets hard because, mm,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
hard.
thing. To me, these interviews are a hobby, and I don't. I get like I want you to take them seriously, but like I'm here to have fun,
Yeah, of course.
and like some people I feel like that have reached out to me for these things, like want it as part of like you know their portfolio or some shit. I'm like, no, that's not me. I'm Aussie. I don't take anything fucking seriously. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it should be. Like this is what I was saying before when I was speaking about how I've worked with some actors who take themselves really seriously but don't take the work seriously. Uh it's the same kind of thing. I think the best way to go about anything in this life is to take the work seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. It's the best thing. Like you distance yourself from yourself as much as you can, and then the really interesting stuff starts happening. That's when you start getting, uh, really cool interviews with really cool people. That's when people actually start to listen and start to see, a real person talking to a real person with no pretense, with not no, not trying to be something that they're not, and asking interesting questions. Uh, so yeah, never take yourself too seriously. Take the work seriously, but not yourself. We tend to create a lot of excuses for ourselves to make us feel like we're not in the spotlight. Like it wasn't me, it was just I was being an idiot and it just happened that way. Like for me, I went through a pretty rough patch recently, professionally speaking. I had 5 high-profile auditions that they had me on hold for. And in the industry, if you're on hold, it means that they like you. They like you so much that you are in the running to be this character. And I was on hold for 5 things, for 5 different productions, and one of them was for Netflix, and the other one was for Stan. And I was like, "Oh, this is amazing! This is so good!" And then one week, I get a call, and they said, "We're releasing you. You're no longer on hold. You didn't get it." And I was like, "God, okay. Well, at least I got the other 4." And then I got an email saying, "We regret to inform you, but we've released you from being on hold for this thing." I was like, oh, "God damn it!" And then I got word from my agent who said the other 2 have pulled out. They're not going to cast you anymore. And so that was like, God, that sucked. That was like, okay, well, I must have done something wrong. I did everything wrong. But no, the reality is I did everything right. Not just everything right. I did everything exceptionally right. So much so that executives at Netflix were watching my tapes and going, "He's good, but this guy, we want this guy for XYZ reasons that's completely out of my control and completely out of control of the creators behind it." And so it feels shit. But the takeaway from that is, fuck, I did good. Like I had 5 people. I was fighting probably an A-lister for a role for like 3 months. Like
that's wild.
not a lot of people can do that, and not a lot of people
No,
can walk away from that going, Jesus, because there are so many like things in this industry that you have no control over whatsoever. And it's the same in almost any industry. Like you make people feel comfortable because you're personable, because you care and because you are interested in what they have to say. Not because you're making a fool out of yourself, not because, of any of those reasons that you mentioned. It's just a natural reaction that we have to success, I feel, for some people. We just want to put the focus on something else. Um, and that's okay too. But I think, and I had to learn this lesson, it's important to recognize that we ourselves are capable of really cool shit. And we need to accept that of ourselves sometimes.
it took me a long time to recognize that though. Like I told myself I would never post a video on YouTube, and look, I did. Like, how many verticals do you reckon you've been in?
I don't know, maybe 7 at this point. I've been working for about a year on them. Yeah, about 7, I think.
All with different titles.
Yeah, all with different titles.
You might need to send me some because I know I've seen you in them, but
Don't
I need
ask
them.
me. I do not know.
You have the
Uh,
call sheets, don't you?
somewhere in my email or my WeChat, I did Three Brothers with Dom. Dom was the Dominique Rose was the lead in that one, and so was Will. Will was the lead in that one too, and that one
I
was
think
really
that's the one
yeah.
with.
Reunited with my 3 billionaire brothers is the title. That
That only
was
came out last week.
yeah, yeah. That's been in development hell for like 4 months. I don't know what took them so long to get it out there. But that one was really fun. We added so much fun little things to it as the three brothers. Uh, I'm not sure how much they kept, but there was this thing that we decided to do. Myself, Ant, and Jake. We decided because we played the three brothers. We decided we're gonna do every single time we're in the same room together with our sister Dom, who's in the wheelchair. We're gonna put our hands together in the middle, right? And we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, Stuart, and then like do that. And we added it to maybe 5 or 6 different scenes that weren't in the script originally. And the director was like, "Please do it more. This is amazing." So we did, and it was amazing. It was incredible. We added so much fun shit to that. It was great.
I'm gonna go and watch it now and be like,
Please do.
I'm
Please
gonna make a
do.
compilation of all of them.
Yes. I hope they kept it in. I haven't seen it yet because we've been meaning to do like a watch party, but none of us have the time, unfortunately. But yeah, God, that was fun. That was so good.
I gotta watch it. But that's on mini shorts. I think that subscription is like $50 a month.
I gotta check. I gotta check. Um, it is Callus TV app.
Yeah, well, that's all. Like Kalos is you pay by episode.
Whoa.
So Kalos and mini
Yeah,
shorts are literally the same app.
same thing. Yeah, yeah.
So Kalos is you pay by the episode, and then mini shorts is you pay like a weekly, monthly, whatever subscription.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is your biggest fear as an actor?
Oh God, that's a tough one as an actor. I guess like dying, not being able to perform anymore. Like I yeah, honestly, I could lose limbs and be okay. Like I could be paraplegic, be fine with that. I won't be fine with that. I'd be traumatized and very sad, but I'd still be able to act, you know. Um, but I think if I lost the ability to speak, I think the biggest fear as an actor is not being able to communicate anymore. For me, at least, that terrifies me.
And that's what brings it back to communication.
Yep, full circle.
Okay. Out of all the roles you've played, is there a character that has taught you something about yourself?
Oh, God. So we're not talking just verticals. We're talking about all of the. Okay, all right. Yeah, actually, there was one that I did a while ago. It was a short film with a fairly decent sized production company back in 2017, 2018, and they had dropped some serious money into it. Like it was, I think they dropped like 50K into the production, and we shot for like 4 days. I didn't get paid. None of us got paid really. And I was playing dual lead roles, twins basically. One was a psychopath, and one was like a nice guy that becomes a psychopath at the end. Um, but that was a bit of a struggle for me. I had just come through like a really bad patch professionally as an actor. Um, I had just been threatened legally by a production company that wasn't a real production company. That's a whole other story, actually. They were crazy. They were basically a scam, a group of scam artists that were stealing money from people, and they were trying to con me into being the face of their production company. Thankfully, I like found out, got the hell out of there. But they threatened legal action over a bunch of different shit. Anyway, so coming through that, for like 6, 8 months after that, I was terrified to even go, audition for anything, because I was like, what if these people are going to be the same people as, like, and then I did this short film. I auditioned. I had a great time. And then coming out the back end of that, uh, for a year, I didn't see anything from it. They didn't release anything, and so I reached out and I said, "Hey, I've seen the final cut of the short film, and it's really good. Why haven't we released it?" And the director was like, "Oh, I don't feel it's good enough to be put out at the moment. Um, so yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting it out." And that again, like, was a huge blow, because I had just come from this very vulnerable state, auditioned, got the role, felt like I was back in it again. I was like, okay, no, I don't need to worry about anything. And then to have the rug pulled out from underneath me with these guys saying, we don't think it's good enough to put out there. And that was the point where I was like, wow, it really doesn't matter anymore. Like, it, and not in an angry, upset way. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to put myself out there more. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I can't afford to worry about it anymore. Like, assholes are going to be assholes. People are going to be people. I can't control anything. The only thing I can do is I can do me. And so that was like that role, playing two different people, really informed how I understood acting a little better. And coming from that really kind of helped me go, all right, I need to put myself aside and put how I feel aside and just be present, just be there, just do the work.
And I am here for the new reformed you whenever you decide to like go all crazy on screen. I'll be
I
here
can't
for
wait
it.
for that.
Like,
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait for a good character that will be like the Nicolas Cage of vertical characters. That'll be really fun for me.
I will still be here. Like,
Good, good.
if you could shine a spotlight on one of your verticals that you've been in as a must watch, which vertical would it be and why?
Oh, it's the one that it's the Three Brothers, the one that just came out. I think that was the one we had the most fun on. We had an ensemble cast. We had Dom, Jake, Ant, we had Will Stagg, we had Chloe, we had Sam. Oh my God, everyone was just so fucking good, and we had so much fun. Like, I'm not even kidding. The amount of fun we had on set with those characters, amazing, amazing, amazing cast, amazing chemistry. Halfway through the shooting, Jake took us to go to Disneyland in Shanghai, for like
Just
a whole
halfway through shooting,
day.
like,
Yeah, halfway through shooting, we had like a break day in on the weekend of the shooting, where we just had a day to ourselves, and we're like, you know what, fuck it, let's go to Disneyland, because I'd never been, and so that was amazing, and just for the memories, I think watch the Three Brothers, yeah, for sure.
that makes me want to go and watch it now.
Yeah,
Like,
do it, do it, do it. It was so much fun. There was real slaps. There's real slaps in it. People actually get slapped consensually. In the no, the characters weren't consenting. The actors were consenting. So
that makes me kind of worried. Like,
no, 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 no. It was okay. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna send Chloe your way. Hopefully, she'll do an interview with you, because she can tell the story better than I can. But there's a scene where the two villains get into a slapping fight, and Chloe, who is the female lead villain, she was like, "I want to get slapped for real. Let's do it. I honestly want to make it look. I want to do it for real." And Sam, who is the who is the male villain lead, was like, "Oh, I don't know about that. That's pretty dicey." But then she slapped him, and then he was like, "Okay, fine. Let's do it. Let's go." I'm kidding. No, they can tell the story better than I can. But God, it was fun. Like they sold it so well, and we all had a blast filming every single scene in that vertical. It was really great.
Goes and buys subscription.
Yes, do it. Do it now.
No. This is a quick get to know you, and then we can both get off and
Yeah, let's do it.
have something to eat. Like, all right. Favorite animal?
Tiger. Tiger.
Favorite food?
Korean barbecue beef salad. At the moment, it's my go-to. I make it at home, and it's amazing. It's healthy. It's delicious. It's the best thing ever.
Done, done. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I'm both. I'm an animal person. I'm an animal person. I have a dog. He's a beautiful golden lab retriever cross, and he is amazing. But I've got family and friends that have cats, and most of them are pretty good.
So what? You gonna comment on the spiders in Australia?
Do we really need to comment on the overlords that actually rule Australia? They are the commanders of the Australian land, and I don't feel comfortable saying anything bad about them, in fear of retribution.
Completely valid. Favorite color?
Oh, that's a toss up between like a forest green or like a burnished orange, like a really, a nice, comforting fire orange. Yeah.
I can relate to that. Like,
Mm.
hmm. I could just picture that. I don't think I've said that many. Dream country to visit.
Ooh. Croatia. Yeah. I've heard their beaches are amazing. Like the beaches and the history and like the cities. And apparently it's like a really safe place to visit as a tourist as far as tourism goes.
Just gave me like destination idea. Like
It's a good idea. Yeah, I haven't been yet, and yeah, I'm keen to go.
I've never left Australia, so
Oh wow, there you go.
I probably should in my life. Like
Definitely recommend. Just don't do it for verticals. I think you won't have time to really visit the places that you'd like to see.
favorite season.
Winter, hands down.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's easy. So
I
easy. I
hate
mean,
summer.
you can rug up in winter as much as you want, but summer, you it gets to a point where you've reached the legal limit for how much you can take off to get cool.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not for it. Sit me inside, give me an air conditioner, and I'll play games all day. I don't give a shit.
This Australian summer is just
Disgusting.
it was so muggy here today. I was like sweating buckets. Like
Don't like it. Don't
I
care
don't
for
like
it.
it. Nope.
Bring back winter.
Yeah,
Make Australia winter again.
gonna clip that.
Make Australia winter again. We need a hat. Not a red hat, maybe a blue or a nice burnished orange.
Oh. The next question. Okay. Favorite actor.
Ah, my mind just went straight to Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's
Just off
valid.
the cuff, straight away, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
Favorite movie.
Oh no, don't ask me that. Fuck. No, that's seriously hard for me because I collect Blu-rays. I'm like a big physical media fan, so I've got I think thousands at this point, and
Yeah.
I love movies. So picking number one is hard, Maddie. It's really hard. It's really difficult.
Well, pick a genre then. Pick a genre.
Oh God. Okay.
That's I
Okay.
was gonna say
Okay.
that should
Okay.
be easy. I like
Genre. What do I do? Fantasy? Because it's fantasy, but comedy. God, comedy's so good. I do like rom-coms as well. Fuck. Okay, how about the most impactful? I can give you the most
Okay.
impactful. I can give you the most impactful film that I've okay. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings as a trilogy. So I can't pick one. Lord of the Rings as a trilogy has shaped me as a person, as a man, as a performer, as an actor, as a writer, as a storyteller, probably more than almost any other film or series that I've ever watched. So that's probably, yeah, the most impactful for me is Lord of the Rings, for sure.
And that's all you had to say.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. I mean, it's like, it's a whole, you
I
just
know.
rolled out a whole, like, smorgasbord of delicious films to choose from. And I'm like, I can't, what am I supposed to do? I can't, picking one just means all the others aren't as good. And that's just not true.
Well, that's like when somebody asked me the other day what was mine. I was like, the Maze Runner series.
Well, at least you know. At least you got a favorite. It's nice and
That's just
easy.
it.
I can't. It's so hard. It's the indecision. It's like, well, okay. The process of my mind is like, okay, well, which director would I like to work with? Because that would determine my favorite. No, I want to work with all of them. Now, which actor would I? No, because I want to work with all of them. But okay, which story is the most interesting? They're all fucking interesting. I can't pick. It's so difficult. It's so hard. So yeah, impactful. Like the most impactful film for me would be Lord of the Rings. And I know it's three films. Don't
So is the Maze
don't
Runner.
don't come at me, all the Tolkienites and the Lord of the Rings
Oh,
fans.
God.
It is. They are. All three of them. Director's edition or theatrical cut. I don't care. They're all amazing.
Done. Favorite music genre?
Hmm. I'm gonna be a basic bitch and say alt rock. I mean, I know it says alt rock, but and it's more mainstream now, but yeah, alt rock, pop rock, or any of the subgenres in that, like folk rock, whatever rock. I'm good with it. But I
Whatever
listen to
rock.
so much. I listen to classical. I listen to pop. I listen to R&B, rap. It's all good. But yeah, I always tend to defer to the old alt rock.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's classic.
Well, do you have a favorite song and singer from alt rock?
Oh, I could say classic Coldplay. Yellow comes to mind. Yellow's pretty good. Viva La Vida is like, because I play music as well. I play piano and guitar, and Viva La Vida is like one of my go-to piano songs that I just sit down and play for hours because it's just, I don't know, it scratches an itch in my brain. You know what I mean? Like it just does something up there that I'm like, this is satisfying. This is nice. It's like calms me down.
This makes me want to do a part two because I haven't even explored that subject.
Don't get me
You're probably
started.
listening.
We will
You're
be
probably
here
like sick of
for
listening to me
days.
ramble. That's what I mean. Like, I would love to just talk more on this. Like, yeah, I'll contact you later.
Start a new podcast about
Like,
music and obscure music genres.
no, I've got so many people wanting to do more, like, because they just want to talk about, like, they want to, you know,
We talk a lot. We talk for a living, so it makes sense.
like, and I want to know more. And
Yeah.
city life or country life?
Uh, I would prefer to live in the country, but I can't survive in the country because there's no work in the country for me. So, but I do like it. I'm gonna go with city. I'm gonna go with city. The convenience of, you know, being able to go out with your friends, things to do, work. It's all
Hmm.
in the city. And, you know, I like the noise as well. I don't know why. The noise just, you know, it's like white noise. City noise is white noise to me. I just fall asleep.
Biggest pet peeve.
Oh, I think we already went through this. My biggest pet peeve. Uh, okay, we got there's two of them. Um, there's professional, and then there's a personal one. My personal one, actually, they're kind of both linked. My personal one is I hate poor communication. I hate poor communication in any setting. If it's like if you're gonna be at a place at a certain time and you've said that and you don't do that, why didn't you just tell me that you weren't going to do that like before you did it? Don't promise me something that you can't deliver on. Just say just communicate. Just be open and tell me what's going on. So that's my personal pet peeve. My professional pet peeve is again it's kind of related to communication, but it's like I hate when people walk into a room and think they're amazing and their ego is massive and huge and they take themselves super seriously. I can't connect with people like that. I don't understand you and I don't care to understand you. I don't care. Whatever you've done in your life leading up to this point, it doesn't matter because you're here now and we're here to work. So just let's work. Let's come together to the table. Let's create something. Let's have fun. And if you can't do that without your ego getting stroked, then uh, you're gonna piss me off. You're gonna really piss me off. It just ruins everything, especially when you're working in a collaborative space. If somebody comes in who wants to dominate everything and make it about them, it defeats the purpose of working together. And in my experience, we always get the best results by working together, never by ourselves. So why would you just completely cut yourself off from collaboration when it's the easiest, the most fun, and just resign yourself to a selfish way of doing things? It's just, I don't get it. It's just not in me to understand.
There's no I in team.
Nope.
Name three things you can't live without, other than the basic necessities.
Okay. My dog, my partner, and video games. Just generic video games. I don't give a shit if it's like a Game Boy or a PlayStation 5. Just give me something to, you know, to work my brain around.
To get all like the jitters.
Yeah.
Last one. Describe yourself in 5 words or less. Like, okay, 5 words or less, one sentence, or a quote.
I got five. I got five. Gee, he's a weird guy. Done. That was easy.
I'll take it. Yep, done. Thank you so much for taking time out of your afternoon.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for asking. This has been really fun. And I mean that. This has been so much fun. You don't really get a lot of chances to do something fun like this, and I'm glad you DM'd me and we got to do this because it's been great.